What's up, guys? These are 5 tips you need to take into consideration to pass your Florida Business and Finance exam. So, if I had to take my Florida Business and Finance exam again, consider these 5 tips that I got for you guys today. And honestly, I think that most people are studying completely wrong. The exam, it isn't really about learning or reading the whole book. We have 3 books. This book has around 900 pages or more. And then we have this other one that has around 500 pages. So it's a lot of pages to read and to memorize. In all honesty, you don't have to do that. It's about knowing how to find the answers, how to navigate the book. And I have 5 tips for you guys. These are my personal tips. Maybe Cruz has different ones, but together we can figure them out. All right. Tip number 1 is learning how to navigate the book. You have 3 different books, and books have something similar. If it's not something that you do every day, you might not practice it, but books have indexes. If you have an index in the book, it will take you right to a place where you're going to have topics, subtopics, and pages to go to. So when you see a question, you might think, okay, what is this question about? What is the main topic that I'm going to look for? And then under it, there's subtopics that will take you to the page that has your answer. Tip number 2, knowing which book and section matters the most. So after you're working with your book for a while, you learn that the book is actually divided in chapters. Each chapter might have a different subject that they talk about, and that way you're able to break down the book into parts. So this book has actually 10 chapters. Every chapter is different. The question is asking me about finances or accounting. Then out of the top of my head, I think, okay, this could be here in the contractor manual on chapter 3. Chapter 3 is everything that has to do with financial management. It can also be on this other guy right here, the Builder's Guide to Accounting. So anything that says something about accounting, money, then I already think off the top of my head which chapter or book to go to. Tip number 3 is don't just memorize practice questions. Yes, the goal is to go through practice questions. So when something comes up, you're able to read that question, trying to figure out what is it asking you, right? So when you go through practice, if you practice enough, you're going to gain confidence and you're going to learn how to navigate the books because you're going to think, okay, this question is asking again about accounting. So it could be either on this book and that book, chapter 3. You can look at the tabs and of course your highlights. But the strategy is not to learn the questions by memory. And this is a problem that I see a lot of people take. They start to do practice exams and there are recurrent questions that come up, and you kind of learn them by memory. There's simple stuff that you might know already, like prior knowledge that mixed in with what you read in the book and you see coming up every time. You might be able to figure them out quick. For example, different forms of companies and businesses, LLC, a sole proprietorship. It's the simplest form of a business. That's a thing that if you open up your own LLC once, you kind of know and figure that one out. So if it comes up on the exam, people will memorize them on the practice exams and tests and they'll quizzes and they'll just memorize and memorize and memorize. And that doesn't really help. What really helps is, again, knowing how to navigate the book, figuring out where in the book it is, and so on. Tip number 4, have a time strategy before you actually walk into the exam, guys. This is so important. Time is everything. If you're taking the business and finance exam, it's 6.5 hours. It's a full day of work sitting there on a computer, on a quiet environment. Oh, dude. It is so overwhelming. So I do recommend you to try to time strategize what you're doing. There's a lot of things you could do to make it better, but overall, time yourself by taking the simulator and then figure out, if you have 125 questions in 6 hours, that's a quick math. Try to think, how long do I need to answer each question? So you have around 3 to 4 minutes to answer each question. If you know the answer to the question and the question that comes up is something that is common and you know it and you answer it fast, you're buying 3 more minutes for the next question. So that's something that I think of. If I get a question and I start looking for it and I look in this book and I look in the index and I go to the chapter that I think that is at and I go to the table of content and I check my tabs and I don't see it. And then I go page by page. Panic attack starts to come in. I go then, okay. It's not here, chapter 3. It might be here, right? I'll do the same thing. If you can't find it, that's already 5 minutes. Choose the one that you think is best, flag it, and move on. Move on with your life. you're already stressed enough, you're already tired enough, you already tried enough. And then if you actually finish early and you do have enough time, you can always go back, check on what you have, and try to see if you are able to find it again. There's people that would say, hey, I just leave the math for last. Well, there's another video coming up that I'm going to talk about math. I'm a math teacher. I study math and I study also engineering. So I am good with numbers. So maybe that's an advantage. But I don't recommend skipping it because by the end of the exam, you have been sitting there for 5 hours, 5.5 hours, maybe even 6 hours. You want to get done, you want to get finished. And then you're going to go back and try to figure math out. You're fried. Your brain is fried. You're tired. There's no way that you're going to go back after 5.5 hours and look at a math question and understand it. If you didn't get it the first time, the second time is going to be even harder. And last tip, tip number 5. Tip number 5 for you guys is practice as if you're actually sitting on the actual exam. Yes, I see a lot of people now that I'm in this world that they like to cheat themselves. Why would you sit on the computer to do a simulator and snap a photo of it, send it to ChatGPT, and wait for the answer? Don't cheat yourself. Say, okay, this simulator, I'm going to sit here at least for 3 or 4 hours. Take a day off, a weekend, early in the morning. Your wife is asleep. Your kids are in bed. Wake up earlier on a Saturday, 6 a.m., 5 a.m. Grab your books, place them on the desk, right? And start your exam. Make sure that you're not wearing headphones. Make sure that your phone is away. Make sure that you're sitting on an environment exam like. Start the clock. That way you're gonna get the feeling for it. That way you're gonna like handle the book, find the question. Damn, couldn't find it. Put it here, grab the other one, try to look for it. Oh, I found it. Great. Leave this one open over here. This one more close over there. Grab your calculator, take it out of here, do your numbers over here. That way you're busy and you know what you're gonna expect and get when you sit there. There's a lot of people that I see that they're not prepared for it. And when they sit there, they get overwhelmed. It's too much time that you're going to be sitting there. I did try to strategize myself as well, where I knew that halfway through, I might take a bathroom break. So I did push myself. I needed to go to the restroom and I'm like, hold it. You're on question 20, 10 more. And I push myself to question like 40, 50, I think 60, half of it. And then I say, okay, I'm halfway through. I still have 3, 4 hours. Let me go take my break. And that will also help breathe, get out of that area, clear your head, wash your hands, wash your face, and come out refreshed. Add that to the list. That might be tip number 6. But yeah, try to figure out your strategy and try to practice as if you're taking the exam. That way, those 5 hours won't be as hard. I promise you, times run so fast when you know what you're doing and you're going at it hard. It's gonna feel like time, but it's not gonna feel like 6 hours, I promise you. Well, to end this, again, guys, you don't need to read the entire book. This is so much information. You're not gonna be able to keep that in your brain. You don't have to read the whole book, but you need to know how to navigate the books. So those are my 5 tips for you. Hopefully this can help you out a long way. If you have any other tips for me, please comment below. That way, we're helping each other out and helping everyone else that is watching this video and coming to our course to excel and pass this exam. See you soon.